Ones and twos of this district map that you are seeing right now, and we are continuing to get these numbers as they tick up here.
There we go. Look at that. And I made it almost look seamless. And while I did, just pretend that was deliberate, because while we were doing it, again, surprise, surprise, more votes came in. We are flirting with getting over the 2 million vote reporting mark here. When we have another projection, I think we just saw Donald Trump projected by NBC to win Tennessee. This is what's going to happen. You're going to start seeing these things coming in. We've seen them throughout the evening. This is the total map here in Georgia, though, flirting with that 2 million vote number. Fred, we're starting to see this map get shaded in here. You want to tell us a little bit about the metro? What are you seeing here?
Still a very predictable way. So I think for our viewers, the reason why I'm wondering why you don't see numbers yet, and again for Fulton DeKalb, it's like, it's not that there's some sort of collusion or some sort of corruption taking place there. You had we heard earlier over 32 bomb threats, over 30 bomb threats in these areas, and so that caused the polls to stay open a little bit later because you had to give people an opportunity to vote.
But despite that, Fred, we actually now. Every time you get in a roll, I get you. I'm so sorry. We got a lot of info coming in, right?
Okay.
Fulton County is now reporting about 300,000 votes.
Wow. Okay.
50% of their estimated total vote.
Okay.
So take a look here. Yeah. This is the margin. No surprise, Kamala Harris is out to a lead. You last week, Fred, you called Fulton County part of what you said was the faithful five, Democratic strongholds in Metro Atlanta.
Absolutely.
But it's a margins game, you said. Yes. Jen, does this margin look like what you'd expect at this point in the night?
Yes, but I'm interested, and we touched on this earlier, to see what North Fulton, some of the down ballot races, whether it was split for some of the House and Senate, State House and Senate candidates or not. I'm also interested, I'd love to see what Cherokee is showing and at what percentage total.
And while we look at that, I just want to let you all know that
83, okay.
District 14, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been declared the winner for that race. District 13, David Scott has been declared the winner for that race. Outside of Georgia, AP is predicting that former President Donald Trump will win South Carolina. So these are just rolling in, and we are rolling in with them.
A lot of rolling tonight. A lot of rolling.
What is your thoughts? A lot of information coming in.
Oh,
Fred,
and here we go to another projection. So sorry.
There we go. Harris for Massachusetts.
NBC projecting Harris for Massachusetts. At the risk of stating the obvious, that was probably one that the Harris camp was counting from the start.
Yeah, exactly. It's like with South Carolina for the Trump campaign.
Yeah,
right.
So, yeah.
But here in Georgia, a more complicated story. Fred, what are you seeing?
Well, so I think with the first tranche of numbers coming in for the former president, and he's still holding, I know I said don't pay attention to the percentages, but with 300,000 votes in from Fulton County, and he's still sitting at about 57%, that's good for him. I would have expected with Fulton County coming in with that many votes, that number would be closer to 51, 49, 52, 48. So the margin does surprise me, and I think that's to Jen's point about counties like Cherokee County, that in the northern suburbs, or as old Georgians would call the northern arc, it looks like Donald Trump is doing quite well up there.
NBC saying that Georgia is still too close to call, and as you can see in that top right corner, just 36% of the estimated total vote coming in there. And we have reporters standing by all across the metro. We're also waiting to hear from Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. He's been speaking all day long. Part of the message from the Secretary of State's office is that this is going to be a free and fair election. We know that both of these campaigns have lawyered up. You laugh at that, Fred? I mean, after 2020, a lot of campaigns, they're taking steps to make sure that they are closely monitoring everything that's going on. We had some challenges over the weekend in Fulton County, but as of right now, it seems things are going smoothly here. And we take a look at, are we coming to somebody, guys?
I think we've got a moment longer here with our panel. Shortly, we're gonna bounce somewhere else. One last question to each of you. At this juncture, 1.9 million votes reported. About 36% of the results are all in. Jen, is this where you expected the night to be at this point?
I have to say, watching the speed of the returns is incredible to me, just from a historic standpoint. I feel like this is right on target. I think that Trump does carry Georgia. Some exit polling is showing that he's swung with independent voters into massive ways. So, yeah, I think that this is about as expected.
Fred, last word to you. We've got about 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I am a little surprised at the margin, but I think Jen and I both talked off air that we expected Donald Trump to win Georgia, and then it looks at this place that he's on pace to do that.
Oh, wow.
But
there's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time.
2/3 of the results.
So no reason for gnashing of teeth and no reason for jubilation. There's still a lot to do.
Well, a county that we were speaking about, I believe, is where we are going next.